Hello, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Welcome to my channel, my fellow Scorpios. Let's take a look at your love life. What's your biggest challenge? And then we'll look at your person, their challenge, how they view you. And, it's Valentine's month, and I'm diving in and I'm asking the question, do they really want this? So be mindful and only take what resonates. If you're feeling like the story resonates with you, then, I'm always offering to just kind of ask yourself the questions, right? But so the reading may or may not resonate. I will do Aries through Pisces at the end so that you can kind of, go through your sign and see if the person who's on your mind has a different story. All right. So some things take time. Your biggest challenge here is time. And you're the peanut butter to my jelly. All right. And so this is the problem is, you may have somebody or want somebody to just be that perfect, partner in crime, and, the challenge is though, is that there's no perfect relationship. All right. And this is telling me that you're connecting to somebody, or I'm connecting to a relationship here, that it feels right. It feels like this could really be the one. But, you are seeing peanut butter and you're seeing jelly. Although they go very well together, they are two different. They are so different. It's like, it's just one feels earthy, one feels very grounded and may move a little bit slower, and jelly to me is just, fun, but let's see what's going on. So your biggest problem is, if you're single, you may be looking for that perfect person, and that perfect person is not gonna show up exactly. They might even be the most aggravating person in your life, right? But if you're in a relationship and you're having your doubts, and you're having your problems, to me it feels like we're working through the stages of getting to understand each other, letting each other be individuals, at the same time working with what does work, enhancing those moments that feel good. And when they're not so good, this is part of manifesting, not focusing so much on the negative as opposed to the positive, so that you can restore the relationship, right? It doesn't mean ignore any problems that are going on, but sometimes we get caught up in just everything that's going wrong. So let's see your person and see what they're saying about things. Now I am getting feminine energy here, and you are feminine energy, Scorpio. And it feels like, also this karmic cycle underneath here, soul lesson, repetition. So this is what I'm picking up on today, maybe something you have dealt with in the past, in other relationships, or just it's a pattern that keeps playing out for you in relationships. And feminine energy is, taking a step back a little bit and attracting, and softening up a little bit and attracting love to you, whereas you don't have to be the one that is always pursuing everything or taking action, or be the one that has to make sure everything is happening. All right, you got to let somebody else show up. So let's see your person's energy. All right, I got the Lovers card. So I am seeing Gemini energy show up too for you. I'm seeing the Lovers card. And I'm seeing the Seven of Swords here too as well. So your person, I see the Fool card. All right, now what's their biggest challenge? All right, I see the Knight of Wands. All right, So somebody kind of, takes things as they come. So you're dealing with somebody who's fun, you're dealing with somebody who's exciting, and maybe, or you're looking for the exciting person, the one, this freedom seeker, and somebody here who's just ready to just take off and go and enjoy the ride. So I am seeing a lot of passion come your way, and this is somebody I'm picking up and that you have a lot of chemistry with, right? And it just feels though that maybe things don't go as fast as you want here, because it's the challenge as the Knight of Wands. This is a sticky situation, because this is somebody that there's two ways to look at this. This person here, in Aries energy, can initiate and constantly initiate and seem excited, like, let's do this, right? So things may get started, but then they pause or they slow down, or your person gets distracted or loses interest or doesn't finish what they started. All right. So they don't always live up to their promises. And this could be a lack of motivation. Your person here could be using the excuse of, let's just take it as it comes, get this, some things take time and snail's pace. You're seeing, somebody here that just wants to kind of go with the flow and not rush into things. But at the same time, it can be questionable for you, especially if you feel like somebody's being irresponsible and they're just not wanting to hold themselves accountable and move forward. So let's see how they view you. How do you view them? And there's a challenge. But all right, so how do they view you? I see the Empress card. So this is somebody here that sees your value, and they see potential for growth. You have Taurus and Libra energy. You have Aries energy showing up, Leo, Sag energy. All right, so somebody very drawn to you. And again, you're getting feminine energy too, a second time. So we're seeing it here and we're seeing it there, which is a big indication to me that there's not much more you really need to do right now, right, to take action. You're the one that sort of needs to lean back in the situation for the dynamic to play out, not take action. It's your person who needs to step up to the plate, right? It's your person who needs to change, right? But again, your job here in this reading today is saying you need to know your worth. You know that this person, if they value you and if they are really into you, you're going to have this, right? It's going to turn into something, right? But it's a matter of trust and whether you can trust this person or not. So if you do have trust issues, or you feel like this person's playing you, or you feel like this person gets things started, but you just never feel like you don't know the end game, or you don't know if it's going to go anywhere, like it gets excited and then it stops. All right, this is where, depending on how long you've done this for, is where you're going to have to decide what you're going to do with this energy. All you do is you pull your energy back and you take care of yourself, more than giving your energy to a situation if somebody's not giving you anything in return. Giving more is not going to get more. Giving more just means you're doing more, and your person is going to accept it, and they're not going to step up and do anything, especially if you don't hold them accountable. And sometimes holding them accountable is not doing anything and stepping back, right? Because it does feel like here you're dealing with a younger energy. Maybe you're a different kind of person for this person, and this person trying to figure you out. But I can see that somebody is very driven and has the potential here to make this work with you, but you've got to be open to receive and step back and let them prove themselves, right? Not by telling them what they could or should do. So what is your challenge with them, and what is their challenge with you? The World card, your challenge with them, you feel like they could do a lot more and they're just not. So they're keeping you stuck. And this is a thing where you're on two different frequencies. Your person is showing up as a Fool energy. So this tells me that they're kind of just figuring things out. They're not even sure where they're at yet. Maybe they're not, they're still working on their own accomplishments, and they're still trying to figure out where they are in this world. They're looking at you like the Empress, like you're you're abundant, you got everything you want, everything you need. But, you know, they're challenged. The way you view them, the world card is like they could do so much more and they could be so much more. But that's up to them to decide what it is they want to do. Maybe you're helping them see the best sides of them, the best qualities of them, but they've got to go on this journey themselves, and not just if they're not good enough for you right now, or they're not able to, they're not as accomplished for you right now. That's not something that you can just tuck and think you can deal with, because it'll later on bother you. All right. So this person may feel like they're not able to meet your needs too. You know, whenever I see the Empress here, it's all about needs and getting your needs met and feeling secure. And, you know, maybe you feel like this person is just not motivated, right? And so let's see your biggest, their biggest challenge with you, right? The Ace of Swords, maybe your communication, right? Maybe they don't, you know, sometimes the Ace of Swords is a challenge, can be somebody who is very sharp, you know, with the tongue, or, you know, says the truth, but maybe a little bit harshly, maybe isn't always honest, or just communication seems maybe one-sided at times. All right, so this is where please don't get triggered. You know, I'm a self-reflector. My readings are all about, you know, tarot is not a prediction. Tarot shows us where we're at, and if the stories are resonating with you, that means this is the energy you're in. But it doesn't mean that everything's okay. It means you have to do something to shift it in order for your situation to shift. Right. And I try to drive that home as much as I can. But people get mad at me for being so direct. Right. And it's like, but that's the thing. That's what I'm picking up on. And these are honest dynamics that can really shrivel up a relationship. You know, and so somebody here, you know, just may feel like you speak too soon, you say things, or you assume things. And communication could be, it's like oil and water here. Right. So this is again where I'm hearing, I know you probably see the best in this person. You really want them to change. You really want them to step up. And I can see in this that the potential is there for this person to really want to be there. But you're still looking at a new energy. Maybe some of you, they just got out of a relationship. Maybe for some of you, you know, they are taking care of a child, you know, or this is just, you know, they just want to take things one step at a time. They're in no rush. And that's where you have to decide whether or not you're okay with somebody who is in no rush, right? And, you know, so let's see what Spirit thinks you should do. I'm seeing the Star card. All right. And the Star card is, you know, pretty clear when it comes to ultimate faith and trust. If this is your person and this is meant to work itself out, it's going to work itself out. It shows that you guys are in the right place, the right time, in alignment with whoever I'm picking up with. I have Aquarius energy too. So I am seeing here, you know, this, you desire something, you have big dreams, you want to move forward. And this person here, it looks like your biggest problem is it's just some things take time to work itself out. And I see this playing itself out in a way that you're going to get what you desire here. But the key to it is, you know, maybe not being so harsh, or, you know, when you're talking or direct, or, you know, maybe cutting somebody's perspective out, or not seeing another person's perspective. And I'm getting the Empress card, which is leaning back and let them show up for you, you know, let them show you that they really care. All right, so let's get an oracle, and then I will look at Aries through Pisces for you. And I'll get a hidden truth as well. All right, you have creative expression and trust your vision. All right, so finding another way to express yourself with your person. There is a way to have direct communication and to clear things up. And maybe, you know, you are seeing possibly an age difference. You're seeing, you know, you're showing up as mom energy, you know, fixer, carer, nurturer. And your person is showing up more, you know, childish, carefree. It doesn't mean that they're a child or they're childish. It's just showing a stage they're in right now. So it can often seem like you're trying to parent the situation or you're trying to take responsibility because you care, which is this, you know, queens do that, you know, but sometimes it's enabling a situation and a person doesn't want somebody else to fix them or make them have to change. It's like one of those things where somebody has to, you know, figure it out themselves. But you can make hints, you can give hints and, you know, nudge people, but it seems like your person needs to think or feel like they figured it out themselves. So Aries, I see two of swords. All right, so Aries on the fence here. They know that they need to make a decision here. Sometimes you guys seem to butt heads, is what I'm getting. You know, they maybe do a little dance in their head about this, but it seems like they already know what they want. So you could get a decision from an Aries this week. You know, obviously they're torn between two situations or torn between their perspective and yours, but the heart is going to pull you guys together. Taurus, the chariot card. You and Taurus seem to have what it takes to make it work. This is letting go and just following, you know, and trusting the unfolding of the situation. I see a Taurus returning and I see them stepping up. You know, the chariot is returning and stepping up and you know, and making things happen. We have Gemini. I see Queen of Swords. So Gemini want a conversation here. So we got to talk about the difficult things and be ready to hear the truth. You know, this week could be a conversation about truth between you and a Gemini. Cancer, I see Three of Wands. So I'm seeing Cancer here, thinking about the future here, you know, wanting to make it work. So you may see some progress, some movement this week with a Cancer. Leo, Seven of Cups. So Leo's constantly thinking about the possibilities, but also wondering if, you know, they can meet your expectations. And, you know, it's still a little confusing here with you and Leo. And this is where this could take a little bit of time. It's hard to make a decision when you have this card because you don't always know if you can see the truth, right? So this may be waited out a little bit with the Leo and see if things change. Virgo, I see a judgment call. So it looks like a Virgo here really feeling called to justify themselves, or, you know, they're realizing what's gone down and, you know, maybe wanting for some of you forgiveness, turn things around. But there's a huge awakening happening here with your Virgo. And it feels like a strong soulmate connection here. You know, you could be, you know, getting a second chance with a Virgo. Libra, Page of Wands, right? So friendly conversation, very flirty conversation coming in with a Libra. All right, so playful energy. You are getting that young kind of Aries energy, somebody who initiates but doesn't always follow through. So I would say just be cautious of that, you know, you know, just reduce the expectations when you get a page, right? You know, just kind of go in the moment and see where it takes you. Scorpio, you have the Devil card, right? So there is a strong attachment that you have towards a situation in your life, maybe another Scorpio. You're obsessing over something, and your Scorpio may be obsessing over you. But the obsession is the attachment to it is the block, all right? Worrying about it so much and being stuck on it so much is the block, right? This is where releasing the grip and the Empress is taking a step back. You're still attached to a Scorpio. There's still something there, and there could be more lessons coming in with that Devil. Sagittarius, I see King of Cups is all about you. Sagittarius got a lot of love for you. So I am seeing a deep emotional connection with Sagittarius. Capricorn is reaching the limit, all right? So they're getting a little bit burnt out, worn out with the situation. Maybe they feel like it's a little bit too much and they can't handle the responsibility. There's still a go in there, so there's a way to push things forward, but maybe easing up a bit with a Capricorn. Aquarius is all about you, very attracted to you, sees a lot of love there, and to me seems to love you more than you think. Pisces, I see the Knight of Pentacles, slowly but surely coming around. Things are growing between the two of you, but I am seeing, you know, slow down here. So let's see any hidden truths that I get. Any hidden truths for Scorpio? Any hidden truths for Scorpio? They are working on themselves. They are working on healing their wounds. All right. So like I said, this reading feels like, yeah, it can seem like an avoidant. It can seem like, but if you take your energy off of needing to, because you might know what's going on, just relax in a little bit and letting somebody do their thing. And, and if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. It's one of those things. I do see that this is definitely a soulmate connection with its challenges. um, they feel protective over you. So this is somebody that really cares about you. The Empress card is definitely a protective card. Somebody that they want to make happy, but maybe they're still just learning you, still trying to figure things out. All right. And I also see children are a major concern in your love life. So for some of you, not all of you, there's definitely an aspect here where, the Fool card, children, and sometimes, or a mother, you have the Empress card. So there could be a baby's mother, baby mama, and stuff like that. So some things do take time. If somebody's trying to leave a situation to be with you and there's some drama there with somebody else, they've got to be cautious and careful, right? And that could be what's holding this back too. So really, ultimately, it's just some things take time, Scorpio, especially if you really want this one. It's just about working with the energy and being able to deal with any uncomfortable feelings you may be having when you're not getting what you want. All right. So let's see your bonus yes, no. Your bonus yes, no. Yes, no. Think of your question. All right. So I have a yes. I have Cancer energy for an additional message. And I have the Four of Cups, but it was in reverse here when I pulled it up. And it has nothing to do with the yes or no. That's your question. Yes. I don't play around with that. But the card in reverse can say another opportunity coming around, but it is saying also step back and see the love, that is trying to break through for you. You may be, feeling like you're stuck, feeling stagnant, feeling like you're just not happy with the way things are. And the way we're trained in this world is to push more or act more or try to get somebody to move more. And sometimes that works, but sometimes it works against us. And in this energy today, it feels like you are being asked to sort of lighten up about the situation a little bit, at least to get movement. If you're not willing to lighten up about a situation to at least get movement, then there's going to be a constant block or restriction, and it's going to push the energy that I'm feeling back more. All right. So that's what I'm seeing here. Somebody does not want to lose this opportunity with you, but you also may be coming off as the Four of Cups, like, I'm not getting what I want. I'm bored. I'm unhappy. I'm stuck. And so your person could be reading that as, yeah, well, I'm not good enough for you. Flat as that, as straight as that. So Cancer energy, Moon energy, and I love you guys. And I will see you guys hopefully in Sagittarius. Hello. Yes. Take care, guys.